pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to call to order the Lamar City Council regular meeting for Tuesday, January 17, 2023. We'll start with roll call.
Goodchild?
Yes.
Donlin?
I don't know whether to say here or there.
Wick?
Yes.
Sturgeon?
Here.
Bruns?
Present.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second. We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Start the meeting with the hearing on the PlyWood Trail. It's the right page here. At the January 3rd, 2023 meeting, council set this date and time to hear public comments on plans, specifications, form of contract, and estimate of cost for the PlyWood Trail Phase 1B project. The project will take place from the north of the west branch of the Floyd River to C-38. Plans and specifications are available at City Hall for viewing. The proposed schedule is as follows. April 18, 2023 bid opening. May 2, 2023 council award. I'd like to open the hearing and ask for written or oral objections or comments on the project. Anybody here to comment on the PlyWood Trail? Matt, are you here to comment on the PlyWood Trail? Oh, okay. We'll close the hearing and turn to the council. Administration recommends council approve this project.
Motion to adopt resolution 23-5 on plan specifications, form of contract, and estimate of cost for the PlyWood Trail Phase 1B project.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Goodchild?
Yes.
Donlin?
Yes,
Wick?
Yes.
Bruns?
Yes.
Sturgeon?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Is there an estimated time start on that, Jason?
Cody?
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. Cody Forbes, McClure Engineering. The project's set to bid April 18th of this year, and then following award by the council, construction would start shortly thereafter. I would anticipate probably late May or early June of this year.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Curiosity.
All right, thank you.
And just to review, the project cost is estimated to be $1.5 million and is funded by the PlyWood Trail Foundation, Lamar's Area Betterment Foundation, and a Destination Iowa grant. Moving on to general discussion, citizens discussion. First off, we do have a scheduled citizen discussion here with Deanna Ferris from the Secretary on the Siouxland Against Human Trafficking Board. Welcome, Deanna.
Hi, thank you. Good afternoon, Council. My name is Deanna Ferris. I've been on the Siouxland Coalition Against Human Trafficking for the last about a year and a half. I was silly enough to take the responsibility of secretary, but it has been a joy. What the Siouxland Coalition Against Human Trafficking, our main goal is education and prevention, and our goal in the near future is to get out to the schools in the Siouxland area. That's something we haven't been able to do. A lot of it has to do with funding right now and grabbing a curriculum that would be appropriate. But what we do see, or what we have seen, and I believe probably the chief of police and his assistant chief could also speak to this, is there is trafficking in Northwest Iowa, specifically human trafficking, sex trafficking, and also labor trafficking. Unfortunately, all three are very vivid and present, especially with I-29. We're not that far really from I-90 either when you think about it. So unfortunately, that's something that we do deal with. And we have one of the people with Lila May's house is on our board. Her name is Sister Shirley. And unfortunately, the Lila May's house, their funding was dissipated, and so They aren't currently providing a transitory place for people who are trafficked right now, but the hopes are that that funding will increase and be available in the near future. With that, I'd like to read the proclamation, but I would like to ask if the City Council has any questions.
Sure. Who do you normally get funding from that it's been cut?
Well, Lila Mae's House is they're a nonprofit. So it's, that's separate than the Siouxland Coalition Against Human Trafficking, but we are intertwined. So it is a nonprofit. They will have an event around the St. Patrick's Day holiday. It's kind of there will be dueling pianos, and that's will bring in a lot of funding too, but not enough to staff and provide a safe place for those who have been trafficked.
Is it normally inbound traffic or outbound traffic, or isn't there a normal?
There's really not a normal, sir. Sometimes they receive people that come, they may be from California because that's not a safe place for them to stay. So they may come to this house just specifically because it's far away from their trafficker.
Okay. Just curious, thank you.
You're welcome, sir. It's disturbing to think about, but reality is that it's here, and instead of turning a blind eye to it, then we want to ensure that people are aware of it and educated on especially our youth. You know, myself having a 19-year-old daughter, that hit home quite a few times, you know, with social media and things like that, and so we have a very open communication about those types of things, but and there have been a couple situations where she's had to, you know, block someone, and, you know, it happens, unfortunately. Luckily, she doesn't, you know, take any of their, I don't know how to say it, their ploys or things like that. But when you look at it, our young children are very vulnerable. So with that, Mayor, if you would be so kind as to, I'll read the proclamation, and at one point, if you're able to sign it, that would be great.
Sure.
Proclamation for National Human Trafficking Prevention Month. Whereas the United States was founded upon the principle that all people are created with the inalienable right to freedom, and added the 13th Amendment to the Constitution, making slavery illegal. Whereas slavery within the United States today is most often found in the form of forced labor and sex trafficking, which weakens our social fabric, increases violence and organized crime, and debases our humanity. Whereas this problem is found even in our community. Whereas every business, community organization, faith community, family, and individual can make a difference by choosing products that are not made by forced labor, by working to protect our young people from sexual exploitation, by addressing the problems of internet sex trafficking and pornography, and by becoming more aware of the problem and possible solutions. Therefore, I, Mayor Bixman, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Of the Lamar City Council, acknowledge January as National Human Trafficking Prevention Month, and encourage our citizens to become more familiar with the problem and to work towards solutions.
Sign it all.
It's all right, sir.
It's still official, right?
Absolutely. I can email you a copy back.
That would be great.
Okay. Thank you. Yes. Will there be anything else, sir?
No, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
You bet.
Police have any comments about this topic, or?
Yeah, actually.
Council, again, this is the first time I've met Deanna. I think we have a lot in common with or wanting to get the information out and stuff like that, just so you're aware, what she's talking about, just locally, our local hotels and motels, they are required to receive training once a year in this exact topic. They have to be certified with the state of Iowa to detect these type of things that go on. Locally, in our schools, we just had a guest speaker come in, Officer Gomez from Utah. Idaho. Just came in, and that's, you know, what we try to hit with that was internet safety, human trafficking, and so we're doing things locally, but we're very excited about getting with Deanna and maybe doing a little bit more. So
Yes.
thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, as a father of 3 teenagers, it's a very different world than the one I grew up in. Home was safe; you could get away from whatever you wanted to get away from, and now our kids are accessible 24/7. So it seems like. Other public comments or general discussion. Citizens, any other citizens here to address the council?
It wasn't my intent, but I can share with you, this is actually happening in our community. Cheryl and I, through the Living Center, have had direct dealings with folks that were being trafficked. What many don't know is because of the huge influx of hunters in the fall, specifically coming into South Dakota, a lot of this trafficking takes place as a result of that in the fall. And the fact that we have this beautiful corridor that connects Minneapolis to Denver, we are a sex trafficking byway. And so this is happening in our community and as we speak. And so I'm grateful for the proclamation, for the council's recognition of this. And I think awareness is one of the biggest things we can do to help protect not only our kids, but this is a real business.
Yeah. Thank you. Any other public comment? All right, we'll move on to the Thumbs Up Award. Mr. Donlin, do you have anything for the Thumbs Up Award?
Pass.
Brian?
I'll pass as well. I'm good. Clark, I'm good. You good?
I'm good too.
Pass.
Mark? All right, we'll move on. So, that doesn't mean nobody's been doing good things. It's just we're on time limit.
Not worth the miss.
Consent items. The list of the consent items is an approval of the January 3rd, 2023 regular meeting minutes, list of bills for period ending 1/13/23, monthly financial statement for December 2022, and property transfer and surplus property resolution.
Make a motion to approve consent items 1 through 3, and also a motion authorizing resolution number 23-6, approving the transfer of the 2003 GM Sierra 2500 truck from the water department to the streets department for $4,500.
Second.
Looks like we need a roll call for that motion.
Goodchild,
Yes.
Donlin,
Yes.
Wick,
Yes.
Bruns,
Yes.
Sturgeon,
Yes.
Motion carried. Do you need to do the second motion on that last one?
Then I'll make a motion declaring the above listed streets department vehicles as surplus and authorizing staff to dispose of.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Action items, 2023 Storm Sewer Improvement Project. Blofeld Engineering has prepared plans for the 2023 Storm Sewer Improvement Project. This project is between 12th Street Southwest and Prospect Street Southwest and involves the piping of the current open drainage ditch. Ooh. Overall, the piping of the drainage ditch will be done in 4 phases. This project is phase 2 and takes place on the west end. A full set of plans and specifications are available at City Hall. The proposed schedule is February 7, 2023, public hearing, March 1, 2023, bids due at 10 a.m., March 7, 2023, council award, July 15, 2023, completion. Administration is recommending the council proceed to a public hearing. The estimate of this project is $335,000. American Rescue Plan Act funds could be used for the project.
All right, if you go back to the aerial photo, kind of depicts the different phases. And in fact, where you can only count 3 colors there, but the 4th phase could be, as part of this project, there's still some open ditch there, back behind FSA, back in there where they got the trees back there. That's gonna stay open for now, but that could be a 4th phase to close that in if we decide to.
Would it be cost effective too? I mean, cost prohibitive to just do it and be done? How long is it? The one that's not mentioned.
Looks like 250 feet, maybe.
So like I say.
Cost-wise, it all depends, because we're talking some large pipe here.
Okay.
I'm assuming that would probably have to be the larger size, which is a 60-inch.
Okay.
Whereas the other size is a 54-inch. I mean, not much difference, but the bigger the pipe, the more cost.
Right. And you're okay with leaving it open? I mean, float filled in?
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it. I'm fine leaving it open for now.
Okay, okay. I just, when you move people and equipment on a project, you know, they're there, but if it's fine left open at a fairly halfway large cost, maybe it can be. I was just asking, so.
I don't know how much it would add to it, Clark. I never had that question with Wayne.
You might,
I can.
you can ask him. Jacob, is there a reason we wouldn't take some of this out of storm sewer?
We could, there's not a huge.
Not a whole lot.
No, there's not a bunch, so 285.
285, yeah.
I mean, how high up do we want that, need that, wish that to be versus the comfort level?
A couple of months ago, there was 400 and some in there, so it fluctuates quite a bit.
Okay.
Depending on which projects are going on.
All right, appreciate it, thank you.
Which color is which phase?
We'd probably go in reverse order. So red is what we're talking about right now.
Good.
What, only part of it? Part of the rate?
No, all of it. Not all of it is piped, but it will be regraded.
Okay.
Then we just work in reverse order, then green and then yellow.
Good. Green and yellow will be all pipe.
Yep.
I make a motion to establish February 7, 2023 at 12 p.m. for a public hearing on plans, specifications, form of contract, and estimate of cost for the 2023 storm sewer improvement project, and to establish March 1, 2023 at 10 a.m. to receive and open bids to be considered at the March 7, 2023 meeting. Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
I'll find out the cost of that, doing the remainder of it and let you know. If it's, I'll let you know. It could always be added as part of a change order too.
Sure.
Or an addendum before these go out, before the bids are due.
And it may not be cost prohibitive, but I'm just on site, do it and be done with it.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Jake.
Moving on to the Lamar's Industrial Park 4th Edition. Attached is an agreement with ISG Inc. for the design and plating of Lamar's Industrial Park 4th Edition. The intent is to begin the process to make lots available and to extend the city's rail line to the south side of 27th Street Southwest. Potential area to plat is attached. Approximately 30 acres will be platted, but a larger area may be disturbed to accomplish the desired grading. The city will need to pay for damages to the tenant per the farm lease. The land currently is not within city limits. We will need to begin the process of annexation. Attached is recommended annexation. Administration is recommending the council approve the agreement. The cost to be paid out of the Industrial Parks Fund and reimbursed by TIP. The city will need to update our urban renewal plan to include this as a project.
Yeah, so there I allude to two future action items. The annexation would be one, and then updating our urban renewal plan to include this area. But that's future. And we'll start both those processes soon, so.
What damages would need to be paid since there's no crops there?
I did talk to them. They've already applied fertilizer to it last fall. And then all depends on timing, I guess. I gave them a heads up. I mean, I would assume once we get it designed, we'll know how much area will damage. And then once we get plans prepared, get a better idea on how quickly we can move project-wise to start moving dirt. So if we're not gonna move dirt until late fall, I mean, there's a chance they could still plant it. We could always push off the dirt work till after crops are removed if we wanted to, but that just delays anything happening there. But
Would that work, Mark? I mean, this is our railroad, right? This expansion?
Yeah.
we would intend to take it across 27.
Right.
In your discussions with the tenant on the farm ground, you don't anticipate any problems, right? I mean,
No,
They'll
they
work
understand.
together with us, it's in the lease that they'll work with us.
Yeah.
We'll treat each other fairly and we'll do what's best.
I was talking timeline more than anything, right?
So we want to get going as fast as we can. We're down to 6 lots in our industrial park, so we don't have inventory. The lowest hanging fruit is doing some lots on the south side of 27th Street and having those available hopefully by the end of this year, because we're gonna have to do some dirt work. So if ISG gets on, if you approve this and ISG gets on this, hopefully before he plants, we can at least stake out where he should be planting.
Okay.
But ultimately, until we get bids on the dirt work, you guys